What if I told you there's an angel so powerful, so fearless, that he led the armies of heaven to defeat Lucifer himself? Archangel Michael is not just the strongest angel in Christianity. He is a symbol of God's unshakable authority and justice. A warrior unlike any other, his story is one of courage, loyalty, and divine power. Today, we'll uncover the incredible journey of Archangel Michael, from his humble beginnings to his rise as the commander of God's heavenly armies. We'll take a closer look at his epic battle against Lucifer, his role as the protector of Israel and God's people, and the crucial responsibility he holds in the Last Judgment. But this isn't just history. It's a story that still speaks to us today, reminding us of the power of faith and the strength found in standing for what is right. So, if you're ready to dive deep into the life of one of the most extraordinary figures in Christian history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll join us on a journey through the Bible's most powerful and inspiring stories. Let's begin with the incredible story of Archangel. Archangel Michael's story begins not with glory or grandeur, but with a humble and faithful role in God's divine order. In the book of Daniel, he is first introduced as one of the chief princes, a mighty protector assigned to watch over Israel. Daniel 10 verse 13 describes Michael coming to the aid of another angel who was delayed by the prince of Persia, demonstrating his role as a defender of God's people. Later, in Daniel 12 verse 1, we see Michael as the great prince who will stand up during a time of great trouble to deliver Israel, further solidifying his position as a protector. But Michael's journey didn't stop there. He rose to the role of God's chief warrior, leading the armies of heaven in the epic battle against Lucifer and his rebellious angels. Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9 recounts this defining moment, and war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. This victory marked Michael as the ultimate enforcer of God's authority. What stands out most about Michael is not just his strength or position, but his humility. Despite being one of the most powerful beings in creation, Michael never exalts himself. In Jude 1 verse 9, we see a striking example of this. Michael is contending with the devil over the body of Moses, yet he does not rebuke Satan with his own authority. Instead, he says, "The Lord rebuke you." Michael's humility is a profound reminder that even the greatest of God's servants remain obedient to his will. To truly understand Michael's character, we can look to early Jewish and Christian traditions. In ancient Jewish texts, Michael is often portrayed as the guardian of Israel, a role that highlights his unwavering loyalty and dedication. Christian traditions build on this, seeing Michael as a figure who embodies courage, faith, and absolute submission to God's plan. This journey, from a protector of Israel to the commander of heaven's armies, offers a powerful message for believers today. Michael didn't seek power or recognition. His greatness came from his faithfulness and obedience. He reminds us that humility is not weakness. It is strength rooted in trust in God. His story inspires us to remain steadfast in our own callings, no matter how small or humble they may seem. Michael's rise to celestial leadership shows that God exalts those who serve with humility and faith. His example calls us to embrace our roles with the same courage and trust, knowing that God's plan is far greater than anything we can imagine. One of the most dramatic moments in the story of Archangel Michael is his epic battle against Lucifer, the fallen angel who sought to overthrow God's authority. To understand the magnitude of this event, we need to start with the fall of Lucifer. Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15 gives us a glimpse into Lucifer's rebellion. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn! You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. Lucifer's pride and ambition led him to challenge God. And Ezekiel 28 verse 17 tells us that his heart became proud because of his beauty, and he corrupted his wisdom because of his splendor. This rebellion set the stage for a war unlike any other. Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9 describes a battle. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail. Picture the intensity of this scene. Heavenly forces clashing in a battle of unimaginable power. Michael, wielding God's authority, led the charge against Lucifer and his followers, casting them out of heaven and down to earth. This wasn't just a physical victory. It was a spiritual declaration that God's authority is supreme and unshakable. Michael's role in this battle is deeply symbolic. He embodies courage, loyalty, and unwavering faith. Despite the odds, he stood firm, trusting in God's power and leading the heavenly armies with boldness. For Christians today, Michael's example is a reminder of the spiritual battles we face daily. We may not see the forces of darkness, but their influence is real. Michael's victory encourages us to trust in God's power, to stand firm in faith, and to remember that the battle belongs to the Lord. This war in heaven wasn't just a historical event. It's a representation of the ongoing struggle between good and evil, a struggle that continues in the spiritual realm and in our daily lives. Michael's triumph over Lucifer reminds us that no matter how strong the opposition may seem, God's power is infinitely greater. As believers, we are called to take courage from Michael's example, to fight the good fight of faith, and to trust that God will always prevail. While Michael is most famously known for his battle against Lucifer, his role as the protector of Israel is equally significant. In the book of Daniel, Michael is described as the great prince who protects your people. Daniel 12 verse 1. This title reveals his divine assignment to watch over and deliver Israel during times of great distress. Michael's protection isn't just a symbolic role. It's a demonstration of God's promise to safeguard his chosen people. In Daniel 12 verse 1, the prophet speaks of a time of unparalleled trouble, but he assures us that Michael will stand up for God's people, ensuring their deliverance. This isn't the only time Michael intervenes on behalf of Israel. Earlier in Daniel 10 verse 13, we see Michael coming to the aid of another angel who was delayed by the prince of Persia, a spiritual force opposing God's will. Michael's intervention highlights his role as a defender, fighting not just physical enemies, but spiritual powers that seek to harm God's people. Historically, Michael's protective role has been a source of hope for believers. During periods of Jewish persecution, such as the Babylonian exile and later under Roman oppression, Michael was seen as a symbol of God's faithfulness. This symbolism carried over into Christian theology, where Michael is celebrated as the protector of all who follow God, a reminder that no matter how dire the circumstances, God's people are never alone. In modern interpretations, Michael's role as protector resonates deeply. Believers today face trials of all kinds, spiritual, emotional, and physical. Yet, the assurance that Michael stands as a defender reminds us that God's protection is constant, whether it's battling unseen spiritual forces or facing the challenges of daily life. We can trust that God is with us, just as he was with Israel. Michael's example calls us to have faith in God's protection and to trust that he is working behind the scenes, even when we can't see it. Just as Michael delivered Israel in times of great distress, we can trust that God will deliver us in our own times of need. His story is not just a testament to God's power, but a call to trust and believe in his unwavering care. Michael's role doesn't end with his battles against the forces of darkness or his protection of Israel. He plays a vital role in the Last Judgment, a moment when God's justice will be revealed in its fullness, and every soul will stand accountable. In many Christian traditions, Michael is portrayed as weighing the souls of the departed, ensuring that God's justice is carried out with perfect fairness. Though the Bible doesn't explicitly describe Michael as weighing souls, this imagery has been rooted in centuries of tradition. It reflects his role as a symbol of divine justice, carrying out God's will with unwavering obedience. In Revelation 20 verses 11 to 15, we see the climactic moment of the Last Judgment. Then I saw a great white throne and him who sat on it. The dead were judged according to what they had done as recorded in the books. While the passage doesn't name Michael directly, his association as God's chief enforcer places him at the forefront of executing divine justice. Michael's role as a symbol of justice is powerful. He represents the reality that God's judgment is not arbitrary or unfair. It is absolute, perfect, and sovereign. His actions during the Last Judgment reinforce that evil will not prevail and righteousness will triumph. For those who have followed God faithfully, this moment is one of vindication and eternal reward. For those who have chosen rebellion, it marks the final separation from God. This imagery of Michael in the Last Judgment serves as a call to believers to live righteously. It's a reminder that our actions have eternal significance, that the choices we make today echo into eternity. Knowing that God's justice is inevitable should inspire us to live lives marked by love, compassion, and obedience to his word. But this isn't just about fear of judgment, it's about hope. Michael's presence in the Last Judgment is a testament to God's sovereignty. It reminds us that no matter how chaotic or unjust the world may seem, there is a greater justice at work, a justice that will one day make all things right. For believers, this truth is both a challenge and a comfort. It challenges us to examine our hearts, to turn away from sin, and to pursue God's will with sincerity. But it also comforts us with the knowledge that God sees every act of faithfulness, every choice to love, and every moment of obedience. Michael's role in the Last Judgment is not just a display of God's power. It's an assurance that his promises will be fulfilled. So, as we reflect on Michael's role, let us take it as a call to action. Let it inspire us to live with purpose, to walk in righteousness, and to trust in the sovereignty of a God whose justice is perfect and whose love is eternal. Archangel Michael's story is more than just an epic tale from the pages of the Bible. It's a source of deep inspiration and hope for believers around the world. His courage, humility, and unwavering faith are qualities that resonate across generations, reminding us of what it means to stand strong in the face of adversity. Michael's courage in leading the armies of heaven against Lucifer inspires us to face our own battles with boldness. His humility, seen in his total obedience to God's will, reminds us that greatness is not about exalting ourselves, but about serving with faithfulness. And his role as God's protector and enforcer of justice encourages us to trust that no matter how chaotic the world may seem, God's plan is always unfolding. But how do we take Michael's example and apply it to our own lives? It starts with standing firm in our own spiritual battles. Life is filled with challenges, temptations, doubts, and moments of weakness. Like Michael, we must rely on God's power to overcome these struggles, putting on the full armor of God and trusting in his strength. Second, we must trust in God's justice. It's easy to feel discouraged when we see injustice in the world, but Michael's story reminds us that God's justice is perfect and eternal. We may not always understand his timing, but we can have faith that he is always at work, making all things right. Finally, Michael's humility and faithfulness call us to live with the same mindset. This means serving others, staying true to God's word, and walking in faith even when it's difficult. When we model our lives after Michael's example, we reflect the qualities that make him such a powerful figure in God's kingdom. Above all, Michael's story gives us hope. It's a reminder that God has placed powerful protectors like Michael over his people. No matter what challenges we face, we are not alone. God's power, his justice, and his love are always with us. And he has given us examples like Michael to guide and inspire us. As we close, let's take a moment to reflect on Michael's extraordinary journey. From his humble beginnings as one of the chief princes to his rise as the commander of God's heavenly armies, Michael's story is one of courage, faith, and humility. We've seen him lead the charge against Lucifer, stand as the protector of Israel, and play a key role in the Last Judgment, reminding us of God's ultimate justice. Michael's life is more than just a tale of heavenly battles. It's a reminder of the spiritual truths that shape our faith. His example challenges us to stand firm in our own battles, to trust in God's power and sovereignty, and to live with humility and faithfulness every day. No matter how overwhelming the challenges we face may seem, Michael's story reminds us that God's power is always greater. The same God who empowered Michael to defeat the forces of darkness is the same God who strengthens us today. Let's take courage, just as Michael did, and fight the good fight of faith, knowing that victory is already ours through Christ. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll join us as we uncover more biblical truths and explore the lives of extraordinary figures like Archangel Michael. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.